싶은 노래예요. 멜로디 되게 희망차잖아요. 이게 제가 원래는 가사를 처음에 한글로 다 썼다가 영어로 바꿨는데 뭐 라디오도 있고 이래서
Yo, sit down for this one, because what just happened is not normal. This is not, oh, that's cool type news. This is history being. Understand how big this actually is. BTS just broke another record, and this time they didn't just break it, they lapped the entire competition. We're talking about a group that already had the whole industry shook, and now they went and did something no other group on this planet has ever done. Not one, ever. Welcome to Pop Showroom, where the story goes beyond the headline. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now, because what we're about to uncover is the part most people miss. Trust me, you'll want to stay for this. Now, let's get into it. Here's the headline everybody needs to hear straight, no sugarcoating it. BTS has become the only group in the history of Spotify to have 57 songs pass the 300 million streams mark. 57! Let that sit in your head for a second. That's not an album. That's not a couple of hit singles carrying the whole group on their back. That's 57 different tracks, 57 different moments, 57 different songs that fans across the entire world pressed play on over and over again until each one crossed that 300 million line. Think about how hard that actually is. Most artists are lucky to get 2 or 3 songs that even sniff numbers like that in their whole career. BTS got 57. That's not a streak. That's a whole era of dominance. But here's where it gets even wilder, and this is the part that's really about to blow your mind. It's not just that they hit 57, it's the gap. The distance between them and whoever is sitting in second place is 31 songs. 31. That means the second place group, whoever that is, isn't even close. They're not chasing BTS. They're not even in the same conversation. BTS is out here lapping the field like they're running a different race entirely. Picture a marathon where the leader isn't just ahead, they finished, showered, ate a meal, and are now watching everybody else still running from the sidelines. That's the kind of gap we're talking about here. 31 songs is basically saying nobody else in the world of group acts has ever built a catalog this deep, this consistent, and this loved by fans across every corner of the globe.
You got 5 years. We've been following BTS long enough to know they're big enough. They got the numbers. They got the army. They just showed you they got 4 and 5. So it really exposes what they're doing.
1 or 2 songs is already a flex. Artists blow up off one viral moment and disappear a year later. That happens all the time, but BTS didn't do that. They built song after song after song that fans kept coming back to, kept replaying, kept adding to playlists, kept blasting in their cars, in their rooms, at parties, during heartbreak, during celebration. This is a group that figured out how to consistently connect with people on a level most artists dream about their entire careers and never touch. And when you really sit with the number 31, you start to realize what that actually represents. It's not just a stat, it's proof. Proof that no other group has been able to replicate what BTS has built. Not the boy bands that came before them, not the groups trying to follow their blueprint after them. Nobody. This is a group that didn't just open doors for other artists worldwide. They built the whole house and then kept adding rooms nobody else could even find the blueprint for.
Lots of different ages and different races. It was really great to see lots of various kinds of people just bonding together.
Let's talk about what it actually takes to get one song to 300 million streams, because people throw these numbers around like they're easy to hit. They're not. 300 million plays means people from every time zone, every country, every walk of life pressed play on that same song enough during late-night drives, during moments they don't even talk about publicly. 300 million isn't a number you fake. You can't buy your way there. You can't trick the system into giving you that kind of consistency. That number is earned, one stream at a time, from real people who genuinely love the song enough to hit play again and again. Now, multiply that by 57. Every single one of those songs had to earn that same kind of loyalty. Every single one had to connect with people deeply enough that they wanted to hear it over and over. And that's not something a marketing team can manufacture. That's not something an algorithm can force into existence. That's real, organic, worldwide love for the music, song after song, era after era. And that's exactly what makes BTS different from almost anyone else in the game right now. They didn't rely on one sound, one style, one moment to define their whole career. They kept evolving, kept dropping different vibes, different energy, different stories, and somehow, every single time, the fans showed up in numbers big enough to push these songs into the history books.
Let's be real for a second too, because a record like this doesn't happen without the fans behind it going crazy hard for this group. Showing up for every single release like it's the most important moment of their lives. And honestly, in a lot of ways, for a lot of people, it kinda is. Music hits different when it's connected to real memories, real emotions, real moments people go through. ARMY didn't just listen to BTS songs, they lived with them. They played these songs during their hardest days and their best days. That's why the streaming numbers hit different too. It's not just numbers on a screen, it's millions of people around the world choosing these songs to be the soundtrack to their actual lives. So when you step back and look at the full picture here, what you're really looking at is a group that changed the entire game and then kept changing it again and again until nobody else could even keep pace. 57 songs over 300 million streams, a 31-song lead over the next closest group. This isn't a small gap you close in a year or two. This is a gap that took years of consistent, undeniable excellence to build. And it's a gap that's probably going to keep growing before anybody else even gets close to catching up. And let's not forget, this is a group that's had members away doing mandatory military service, a group that's had to navigate solo careers, individual projects, time apart. And still, through all of that, their music kept climbing, kept hitting new milestones, kept proving that the connection between BTS and their fans isn't something that fades when the group takes a break. If anything, it seems like every time people think the hype might slow down, BTS comes back and reminds the whole world exactly why they're sitting at the top in the first place. Not a single one has been able to touch this kind of streaming dominance on this level, sustained over this many songs. This is what real, once-in-a-generation impact actually looks like when you put numbers to it. It's easy to say a group is big. It's much harder to have the actual data back it up in a way that leaves no room for argument. 57 songs past 300 million streams and a 31-song lead over everybody else isn't an opinion, it's a fact, sitting right there in the numbers for anyone who wants to check it themselves. At the end of the day, this is bigger than just a streaming milestone. This is a moment that's going to get talked about for years, referenced whenever people bring up the biggest groups to ever do it. Kids who aren't even fans yet are going to grow up hearing about this record, hearing about how one group from South Korea reshaped what was possible in music on a global scale, breaking language barriers, breaking streaming records, breaking expectations over and over again until breaking records just became something people expected from them. Understand what you're actually witnessing. You're witnessing history, real history, the kind that gets written into books and remembered long after the headlines fade. This is a group that didn't just make hit songs, they built an empire out of connection, loyalty, and undeniable talent, one stream at a time, one fan at a time, until the whole world had no choice but to recognize it. Congratulations to BTS, not just for the record, but for proving, once again, history of music, period. I would really appreciate your insights on this matter, so feel free to share your views in the comments. Additionally, remember to like, subscribe, and enable notifications to keep up with this story.